Hello, I want to welcome you specially to the first session of Startup 101. Startup 101 is a special initiative of the African Entrepreneurship Academy to bring entrepreneurship training to you virtually. So we'll be here on YouTube and on Facebook and other platforms talking entrepreneurship and sharing knowledge and experience with you. Now, you know what to do. Click the subscribe button so that you get first-hand notification on any new class episode that we will share with you. Now tell a friend that the Startup 101 class is on and it's your virtual entrepreneurship class. Hello, welcome back. Being our first edition and first session of this class, I will be taking you through the definition of the concept and practice of entrepreneurship. Now, it is important because we want to lay the proper foundation before we go into the details. If you want to start a business or you already have a business, now this is the class for you. Tell a friend that Startup 101 is on. Now, before I go into the details, I want to share something little with you about us at AEA. I hope to share with you something little about AEA, African Entrepreneurship Academy. We are strictly an entrepreneurship training, development and support organization. And we have been in work for the past 12 years, training, developing and supporting entrepreneurs in Africa to be able to build competitive business across the continent and compete with everybody globally. So this session we are having is our virtual platform. We want to reach as many Africans as possible with the knowledge of entrepreneurship and get them to get excited about starting their own businesses and developing the mindset of an entrepreneur. That, we believe, is the solution to the challenges of this continent, Africa. Join me in this first session of the Startup 101 class. And like I said, we are going to define the concept and practice of entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? What is entrepreneurship? What do you think entrepreneurship is? Now, I've read several academic books and I've been to a number of academic sessions, facilitators trying to define what entrepreneurship is. But I'm going to define entrepreneurship from our perspective at the academy, okay? Now, a lot of people define entrepreneurship as starting a business. Now, that is some way right. But the right definition of entrepreneurship, according to AEA, is what we will share with you. For us, entrepreneurship is more than building or starting a business. Entrepreneurship to us is a mindset. So I'm going to start with that foundation for you to understand that entrepreneurship is beyond you starting your own business. It is a mindset. It is a thought pattern, it is a way of thinking, okay? So in defining the concept of entrepreneurship, first thing you should note is that it is a mindset. So entrepreneurship is a way of thinking. If you are able to get this right, it will help you to understand why sometimes we say that entrepreneurship is not necessarily starting a business. It means that you can be an entrepreneur without having your own business and still work in other people's organizations and use the mindset of an entrepreneur to function and be successful at it. That is why I say that in defining the concept, we should not limit ourselves to starting your own business. We should also understand that it is a thought pattern, it's a thinking, it is a mindset. Now that we have laid the foundation, which is the fact that entrepreneurship is more than starting a business, and that entrepreneurship is a thinking, it's a thought pattern, it's a mindset you need to have. I'm going to build on that and give you the definition according to AEA. Okay, so let's go. So we say at AEA that entrepreneurship is the process of identifying. So we say it's the process of identifying a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity. Entrepreneurship is the process of identifying a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity. It means that you need to have the entrepreneurial mindset to be able to see a problem, identify a problem, see a challenge, or an opportunity. Extremely important. So the first part of our definition is the ability to identify a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity. Very important. The next part of the definition states finding solution to the problem found. So if you are an entrepreneur and you are able to identify a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity within your community, you don't stay at that level. You move to the next stage where you need to find solution to that problem, that challenge, or find a way to tap into that opportunity. So I'm going to give a vivid example. So in my country, Ghana, we have quite a lot of waste around us. So people generate a lot of waste. Now, that is filth. That is bad. But to the entrepreneur, he has to be able to identify that this is a problem. The next thing he has to do is to find solution to that problem. So there's an entrepreneur in Ghana called Dr. Siao Ajipon, who is the CEO of Zoom Lion. So Zoom Lion has identified a problem in the waste management sector. He has not just identified a problem, he has moved on to find solution to it. Okay, so every entrepreneur identifies a problem and then finds solution to that problem that he has found. Okay, very, very important. Now, that is not the end of the definition. So when you are able to identify the problem, identify the challenge, or identify the opportunity, the next thing you need to do is to find solution to the problem or the challenge found, or tap into that opportunity. Then the next thing to do is to be able to transform the solution found into a viable business with a product or a service. Every entrepreneurial journey must end up with a viable business or organization that has a product or a service. And this service or product must in turn bring you value in terms of cash or personal fulfillment. Now, again, this is very important because not all entrepreneurial ventures will lead you to making cash. Some entrepreneurial ventures give you some personal fulfillment, and we will get to that when we are looking at the different types of entrepreneurship. And that will help us understand the for-profit entrepreneurship, the other entrepreneurs that are not looking for profit, they are NGOs, or we call them religious entrepreneurs, that is churches. They are not looking for money, they say they are looking for souls. So those are going to be different types of entrepreneurs that we'll look at when we come to that stage in our class. Okay. So what are we learning today? We are defining what entrepreneurship is. And we said, number one, the foundation is that entrepreneurship is a mindset, it's a thought pattern, it's a way of thinking. Number two, we now try to build on the definition of entrepreneurship proper. And we said that entrepreneurship is the process or the ability to identify a problem, to identify a challenge, or an opportunity. Okay? Finding solution to the problem found or the challenge found, or tapping into the opportunity that you found. Now, the next stage is to turn that solution found into a viable organization or business that has a product or a service that in turn will bring you what? Some revenue in terms of cash, money, profit, or personal satisfaction. Okay, so that is our definition of entrepreneurship. And it is important you note that you don't need to start a business to be able to do all these things. In the organization you work in, you can still have this mindset where you are able to identify challenges, you are able to identify problems, find solutions to them, turn them into things that will bring revenue to the organization. again, that is why I said that we should not limit the definition of entrepreneurship to just starting a business. It is beyond that. It is a way of thinking. It's a mindset. And there is this thing we say in Africa, that there is money hanging around us, but we don't see it. It is not seeing it with our physical eyes. It is the ability to see it with the mind's eye. So we don't have a lot of people with this type of thinking, this way of thinking. And that is why there are so many challenges around us. And I always say that Africa is the haven for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs will strive in Africa. They will be more successful in Africa if we all have this mindset. Your ability to identify these problems, your ability to identify these challenges, find solution to them is what makes you an entrepreneur. And people every day have challenges with food, with shelter, with clothing, with lots of things that people have challenges with. Now, that is why this class is on, to help you develop that mindset and build that competitive business. So now that we know and we have gotten grasp of the definition of entrepreneurship, we will go on to other details, trying to understand the attributes of an entrepreneur. What makes someone an entrepreneur? So you can be able to identify the traits of entrepreneurship and begin to develop them yourself, because these are things that can be developed, okay? There's that argument, age-old argument, whether entrepreneurs are born or made. I believe that entrepreneurs are made. So through the things you are able to learn and watch and study, like this session, you'll be able to develop the traits that we'll be looking at in our next class session. Okay, so if you have gained something from this class, I'll be excited for you to click on the subscribe button, and you will get notification on our next session as soon as we are up. Thank you.